Hello everybody, welcome back to another One Piece Burning Blood video. My name is Silvokiji, and this is TheZoneGamingGo. Today we're going to be talking about team types. Well, technically, multiple videos we talk about team types. The first team type we'll be talking about is Rushdown. Now, there are various different team types in One Piece Burning Blood, like, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, yada yada, Pokemon. They're all over the place. This is no different. Now, each video that I make, probably around, you know, the next 2 weeks, will be dedicated to team types. I mean, there, of course, will be first to 5 sessions, stuff like that, but we're doing some dedication videos for these. So, Rushdown-based characters are basically characters that are supposed to get the momentum and just keep going. A lot of Rushdown-based characters are basically speed-type characters. That's kind of where their type kind of comes from. But generally, Rushdown-based characters is any character that can basically keep pressure up an opponent. Technically speaking, characters like a Nell could be considered Rushdown, depending on how you actually utilize that character. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a couple of team comps from different players in TheZoneGamingGo. First off, we're looking at Shaheen. We're looking at Garp, Aokiji, and Zoro. This is a team with Kobe and Killer that he utilizes in the game. So generally when teams are running Rushdown, they have Killer and Kobe. And the reason for that is because Kobe giving you that extra burn engagement where you do more damage. Killer giving you that free unity chain. Once you actually proc the Killer support, it gives you enough burn gauge to basically give Kobe more benefit because you get that early really big damage, and basically Killer pays for itself just like that. Okay, so running Garp and Aokiji create those very dire situations for your opponent. Because of Garp's special movement as well as his status, it's very difficult for people to usually contest against him close range. There's only a few characters that can actually, well, that's not true. There's actually a good amount of characters that can beat him out, but special movement kind of beats everything. Now, generally though, if he's fighting against a character that's extremely mobile, like Marco, Sabo, even Chopper, yes, I know Chopper, Brook is even one of those people, Fujitoro, Mihawk, Tessero, this character does get shut down. But in this case, if you're using Garp as a rushdown status, once he gets in your face, that's the status he got you right at that point. So this team generally is rushed down. Garp is the person that starts the combo, Aokiji finishes with Ice Ball, and then Zoro comes to Dragon Worlds, killing, dead. Rushdown based teams are generally supposed to be teams that not only puts your opponent in a tight spot, but are supposed to destroy your opponent really fast. Rushdown based teams require a lot of momentum to actually play with, and it can be shut down pretty easily by stall paced teams, which are my specialty. That's why usually I'm not worried. But if you want to play Rushdown team, it's really fun. You can do so. You get the get the attack position. Any of these characters can be used as a Rushdown status. I don't quote me on that. That's not correct. But we got a lot of Rushdown based players. We have Fortune, who's usually all around, technically speaking, so he can do Rushdown. We have T-Baz, Shaheem, as I already mentioned. Datmai Senpai, Geo Sassin, who runs a charge team, but he can also do Rushdown when needed, even though it's extremely hard for a charge team to convert to Rushdown. I don't play Rushdown. I know Rohawk plays Rushdown, and Alpiitheking plays Rushdown, and so is Vegetto. So it's a very common, probably the most common team type of the entire TheZoneGamingGo community, and probably One Piece Burning Blood community, period. Now, weaknesses of Rushdown based teams is that are very momentum based. That means characters such as Usopp, maybe Blackbeard, Smoker, Mihawk can shut these teams down really hard because they usually target. Blackbeard targeting the Delphi characters of the group, while Mihawk can pretty much cut down the characters that are generally the slowest of your team to mark them out. So when you're playing Rushdown, you need to look at these characters, basically at your counters, and focus on that, because when a Rushdown team uses momentum and you're the one being rushed down, that's when it gets really difficult. Especially Rushdown characters usually are teams that actually kind of run up close. So ranged characters like Enel, Gekko Mariah, even characters like Kuma, people have a difficult time coming back after they get that separation. So generally when you're having making a rush down, you probably don't want to go fully with Delfruit unless you have a plan for that, or unless you're taking a risk, because that's most of the time where it actually comes to is taking a risk. So we're going to look at another team here. This is actually, I might get this wrong. Is this it? Is this T-Baz? Actually, let's get let's get Ace out and go with Jinbei. I know that's probably not the exact order here, but this is kind of generally where we're getting it. I believe it's Sento, and I want to say Killer, and I want to say Kobe. That may or may not be it. There may be a +1 involved in that team, but let's just assume that that's kind of where it is. So this is T-Baz's team. T-Baz is one of the main Rushdown character or Rushdown players in the TheZoneGamingGo community. Koala is the most. I think I made a video about Koala a long time ago. If you haven't checked it already, look at Koala's guide. She is the, in my opinion, this is my opinion, the best Rushdown character in the entire game. I say this because she covers all options. She can trick opponents up. She can literally attack so fast because Logia-based characters. She can punch them and then sidestep out of the way, make them proc, and keep repeating it. She can beat a Kaki Inu down really easily because he's so slow and can't really compare to it. Same thing with Kiji, and same thing with Kaziru. And even when it comes to her low kick, she has an excellent job of actually tricking people up like Whitebeard, and additionally doing reset combos against Kuma, Whitebeard, Gecko, and even big character, other big characters like Jozo. So Koala actually is an excellent Rushdown character against big characters in general, and even when she's going against small characters, her low kick has an excellent ability to get behind them, which is so awesome, honestly. Being able to low profile things like that is really good ability for Koala, especially with the special movement. Also being able to actually go projectiles, and see me over here being a fanboy. I'm talking about Koala so much, but let's move on. So Rushdown teams for T-Best here. So Jinbei and Smoker are excellent Rushdown based characters, not just shutdowns, because they have the ability to death root characters, which means that with both of these characters in the back with Koala, T-Best is able to actually shut down his opponent and keep the ongoing pressure. Jinbei's special movement allows him to keep the Rushdown on because it makes him go forward, having a little shield around him, and Shark Skin allows him to counter Rushdown in case the odds are against him. Same thing with Koala, she also has a counter Rushdown. And Smoker coming in with his Judah is able to shut down opponents who even try to counterattack with an aerial or jump in. So it just makes sense, right? It makes sense for when you have a Rushdown team to actually kind of also in the same exact time put on the sidelines of how you're going to counteract other Rushdown teams when faced against them. And in the TheZoneGamingGo community, there is a freaking ton of them because Rushdown is one of the most common team types. And that is why we're doing all this, period. So if you want to run Rushdown, which I've already explained a little bit before, is that you need to cover your bases. You know, you need to look out and see what your Rushdown team comp can actually cover. Like if you're worried about death root characters, fight it. Worried about Logia, fight it. Worried about hockey, fight it. In some way or fashion, you want to actually deal with your bases, because if you're not, and if you are faced with one of those characters that shuts your team down, you are going to either have two options: do a sub or struggle to win. Okay? That's just what you're going to have to do. But okay, guys, if you want to look at some support options for Rushdown teams, it's also good to run Marco. You got Kaya support here that does healing. Healing does a good job for Rushdowns. Technically speaking, that's not true. That's a stall team thing. But if you're doing Rushdown, you're going to probably go with buffs. So Johnny Yusoka, you're going to go with Org probably over here that gives you +2, -1. Or you're probably going to run Margaret. And then one of the most common uses for Rushdown based teams is perhaps, one of the most common for Rushdown teams is actually perhaps Johnny Yusoka. But like I said, most of the time, or not most of the time, sometimes you might want to get a sub here for Orc. And Beepo isn't really used for Rushdown that much because you're going to be doing more attacking than defending. I've seen some people go with the Kiro support though to get the +2/+2, so that way even with the one person left, you can make your anchor kind of go with the full-on status as the designated Rushdown option killer, I guess, if that's not even a good, no, you know what, screw that, forget about that term. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next, we're going to be talking about stall teams. Until then, enjoy playing One Piece Burning Blood.